Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Aurora White, Psyche, Azuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Lily Black, Bob CC, Mikta Rabentau, Anathus Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira, Celeste Notrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Tex, Kylin, Arthur Law, Beridan Derard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Webster Wolf, Severa, Circa Barrakiel, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forebear, Leighton the House, Tony, Arcadia Luna Shine, Framboise Zaccaro, Bergie, Fudge, Zephiel, Cafe, Gregorium Cartus, Eros, Uana Nitsa, Tyler Curly Fries, Nat Clay, and Chibi Duo. Get early access to audio and video versions of the show, including the post-show, by supporting us at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you. Good evening, Aorsians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 458. I am Lukiel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mela Vana'diel, and Rolodes.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Hello. Today, we're going to talk about Live Letter 87.
Yes.
And that's primarily what we're going to talk about today. We're going to break down the first part of the 7.3 reveal. So that's primarily what we're going to talk about. Stay tuned if you're watching live. We'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. Also send us mogmail, speakersxiv.com/mogmail if you want to send us your thoughts on what's been revealed. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say before we get into the show. It's
if
hot.
You have,
it's hot, yeah.
If you have participated in the release of Final Fantasy XIV Mobile, send us your review feedback on that too, so
that
we
too.
understand
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll keep an eye out for the community feedback, I guess.
Yes.
When I play it some more, I can come back to you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I've only done a little bit in it.
Okay.
We need the review. We need the big review at some point. Give it a few weeks.
Yes. Okay. There you go. Don't sweat away, people. It's hot summer. It's hot girl summer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can have hot boy summer too.
We can have swampy ass boy summer.
Swampy ass boy summer.
It's hot girl summer, swampy ass boy summer. So there you go. It's both.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Everyone can get involved.
With that said, it's time for recent events. Okay, well, we only have one piece of news today, and it's a follow-up on a story that we've touched on many times before. The Stalking Plugin has been served a cease and desist by Square Enix, which means it is over.
Well,
it is over. For that
guy, at least.
For that guy.
And I think it also sends a pretty strong signal to anyone who wants to do the same. We're talking like it must have been a pretty terrifying letter, considering the fact that they have essentially scrubbed everything. Like they posted like a message on their Discord where they basically said that that the web backend has been taken offline. All stored data, including character and user records, have been permanently and irreversibly deleted. So, like, that's
good.
Square Enix really brought their lawyers out to deal with this person.
I didn't look into how the plugin works that much. I thought it was just like all from the client, essentially. We're like, oh, you can take a peek at someone else's user ID or someone else.
Mm-hmm.
No. There's a server for it. What?
Yeah, got a full database on it, I guess.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Maybe though, in a way, it's a little better though, because if it was just using data from the client, people who have got it, who aren't this person, can still continue to use it easily. But if it's all centralized, and they have deleted everything, then that's a positive.
Yeah. Now
it's still possible.
Right.
It's still possible. Yeah. But one of the other issues is that any new ones that spawn as a result of this one being taken down is that they don't have the server of this one, which was the largest. Mm-hmm. And so the collected information between Yes, they'll have to start from scratch. So the collective information between however many ripoffs there are won't necessarily collate the amount that this one has, which was the largest up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and also all future copycats will, or whoever, like they like chat mentioned, this was already forked day one, so there are obviously clones out there, but they have to run this with the risk now, knowing that Square Enix might be knocking on your door. You know, their lawyers might be waiting in the shadows.
It might not be this lenient next time.
No, well, they will always serve you a cease and desist first to give you a chance to back off. But yeah,
next time they're sending the Pinkertons to your house, they're
exactly.
gonna absolutely murk you.
Yeah. So this is a good move. This is essentially the full extent of what Square Enix can do anyways against like plugins like this, is to send their lawyers at you, and that's what they did.
I mean, the full extent they could do would be to fix the problem and prevent you from being able to obtain this information
obviously.
At all. But
well, that would be ideal.
Well, that is ideal, but
yes.
Unfortunately, they made their system in a really awkward way.
Yeah,
yeah. Now they're struggling to figure it out.
Square Enix is a poor company. They can't fund anything. Man.
No, that's true.
We'll talk about how poor they are later.
Yes, that's true. Well, we it is interesting because I didn't actually think they would go this far, because it felt like the plugin was already like falling apart a little, like but I guess not, because apparently there was still running a server with everything. So yeah, they sent a signal. We'll see how effective it is.
I understand that some of you in chat are saying that they would have fixed it by now if they could have. Not necessarily.
No,
because sometimes it takes them much longer to fix something, no matter how urgent it may appear to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So there you go. At least we're done with the primary evil has been defeated. Now the evil spawn will still be out there, but they'll be
It's like when
weakened.
Sauron fell.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking it's still more like a power vacuum. Now we'll see who the true evil is to replace it.
Let's not give anyone any ideas.
It's more like when Morgoth fell.
Make a Lukiel plugin. A plugin that's just for Lukiel, that you can always know where Lukiel is. Just for him. No one else.
No. What? Rollo, why would you put that in the world?
I think that's a great idea, Rollo.
Yeah.
I've already air tagged him.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, so there you go. That's it for recent events. Now, I don't know if we have time to even get into Mogmail today, so maybe we should save that for...
Probably not. There's a lot
a rainy
to talk
day.
about.
Yeah, I think we should probably.
And we are Yapinators, so...
But we'll talk about it. We'll probably do it next week, so send us Mogmail at speakersofv.com/Mogmail. Now, let's dive into Letter from the Producer Live, part 87. We have to talk about how this started, because the start of the
unusual
live letter, yes, it started with sort of a message from Yoshi-P, weirdly addressing something that I feel like we have been talking about a little bit on this podcast before. Yoshi-P says, I've been feeling that our quality of service has declined recently. I'm very sorry for that. And he talked about the bugs that have required emergency maintenances. There's been a lot of emergency maintenances recently. And he said that they had gotten used to things a bit too much, got too comfortable.
It's true. It makes sense.
Yeah.
The devs were in a swing, and they may have lost staff. They have the junior staff to train. I guess it got comfortable for them.
Yes.
These things happen, and it's fair. It's true, and at least he's addressing it rather than just saying everything's fine. But there are definitely things they need to improve.
People, I think, will misinterpret this though, or misattribute it, or read out of context and be like, "Wow, sorry for the poor state of the game. Everything we've done this past year has been shit."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It is more regarding the bug fixing and that, not the quality of the content entirely.
Right.
Yeah, there's have been more bugs and weird glitches.
He said a few things that I wish he elaborated a bit more on before moving on, because he gave a lot of ammunition to people that are here to twist
Oh
his
yeah,
words.
we are.
That's
Which ones are you thinking about?
We'll get to, you know which one I'm talking about.
This.
Oh,
I
that
think-
one. I
yeah.
think that was on purpose, but we'll get to
We
it.
will get
I
to
think
it.
this live letter was so clip chimped. Like this is the most
Yeah,
clip chimped live letter I've ever
absolutely.
seen.
Absolutely.
probably, yeah.
And I mean,
Even typos in the PowerPoint, so it's all over.
yeah. It's complete because there are people that are just sitting there waiting for him to make a mistake, and they're like taking everything that he says and be like, "This we can take this."
They get money from it.
Yeah.
That's their job, sadly. What a contribution to the greater society.
We could make money from it.
Oh God.
Let's become a drama channel.
Imagine
Well, it's
imagine
easy.
if we did. We just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go.
You don't have to
all
fact check
in.
it. You just say things. And
Yeah.
people believe it.
Yeah. Here's the latest update on Nikocado Avocado.
Oh
Watch out, guys.
no!
Drama alert.
Not him.
Oh God. Let's get right. Isn't that was that Keemstar?
I couldn't think of any other like YouTuber drama person to think of aside from Nikocado Avocado.
Oh God. Okay. They said that they grew bigger and processes didn't fully work the way they had intended them. So he did say we want to improve this again. He said that with new and big content that they recently released, it was difficult, especially.
I imagine Cosmic has been tough for them. That's had a lot of weird bugs that.
Yes.
I mean, I imagine both Cosmic and Occult Crescent. I mean, they haven't done a field exploration zone since Shadowbringers, so
That's true.
almost 3-4 years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true as well.
So they wanted to start by addressing feedback from the community.
This was really good. This was a really good thing to do. It felt very.
This
like
was-
a very rare treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually you'd get this kind of response or like not even like a full slide of it, just being like, yeah, like the next expansion or like maybe at a fan fest for the next expansion.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we saw the reaction, so next time we do this content it'll be like that.
Yeah.
But
At least we got.
They released there were a couple of interviews with Yoshi-P discussing some of these things. We haven't discussed them yet. We may discuss them in the future, depending on if they didn't cover anything that's in them that wasn't discussed here. But it is very strange. I also don't know if I necessarily like the format. I spoke about it during the live coverage. It's weird that the questions are translated, but the answers are fully voiced, and they did not translate the answers.
No, that's
It would
true.
have been a good idea to have a translator for this section at least.
That is a problem with the live letters in general. They're very exclusive to like.
They are
The
exclusive.
JP
You can get
community.
an inkling, but when he starts like yapping into detail,
Yeah.
we have to trust the translation team, and there's going to be lots of paraphrasing.
Shout out to them, by the way. The
I mean,
subreddit
amazing
translator.
work. Always an amazing work.
Yes.
But when Yoshi-P goes into like the deep technicals, they might not necessarily understand exactly what he's talking about either. So it is very exclusive. You're right.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they specifically said they were going to go through feedback about Occult Crescent and Cosmic Exploration, and they started with Occult Crescent. So this is I was expecting a lot of questions I expected for the Forked Tower specifically. I thought that was going to be like one of the main complaints. So they had this question where they asked about entering Forked Tower with a preformed alliance. And he gave us a number. He said there's been, as of yesterday during the live letter, there have been more than 400 clears. Not 400 players, but 400 clears. And he touted that as a big number.
Success.
Yeah.
It's only been out a couple of weeks, and it is hard content.
Yeah.
And very punishing to prog.
I guess. So
It's not a huge number, though.
no.
it's pretty low for what's supposed to be mostly mid-core-ish content, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Is
It's
it
just-
just core?
It's
What is it?
it should be. Or
it should
someone
be
expected
mid-core.
to be.
Yeah.
It's too difficult
But
to
it's
prog it,
not.
though, without like guides and stuff. So a lot of the early stuff's just going to be learning the fight.
Yeah.
It's way too punishing otherwise. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it's fairly low.
the Yoshi-P said that they felt the support through the system in DRS was too high, so they wanted to reduce this a bit.
Delubrum.
Yeah,
So-
savage. Yeah,
The impression I got from that is that they think that too many people were clearing Delubrum Regine. It was too
I
easy to
guess
get
so.
in and clear it.
yeah.
So yeah,
seems,
what
yeah.
they wanted was less clears.
Well, they got that. I
That's
guess.
why he's touting that as a good number. That's good that there's only been 4. I was a bit confused by how he felt about the number.
We are, just to clarify, we are working off of the subreddit's translations,
Yes.
which are very useful, but not necessarily entirely
Exactly.
100% what they intended in
No.
terms of what Yoshi-P and Foxconn said.
Everything's with an asterisk here. So he also said that we have what the community calls island gotcha, just to get into an instance in which you can queue into the Fork Tower.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
Yes, and it is difficult to get onto the same island as a group of 48. So he acknowledged then that there is a
Absolutely.
problem here, and there is a problem here. So they have said that they would implement a feature in patch 7.3 that will allow pre-made alliances of 48
Of
to queue
48.
into the same instance at once. So yeah, he also
I'm okay with that.
well, he said that they were going to do that, but don't have any high expectations for the UI for this.
I don't see why it needs to have a special UI,
Well,
particularly other than
no, but there is currently no UI that allows you like in the duty. How would that? Yeah, I don't really
they could just
understand.
double up on the 24-man stuff. They could just
Yeah, but
double
I don't
up.
know if there's space in the duty finder to show that.
They should make it
I think-
smaller, probably. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, yeah, that's what I think they're saying. Is they're thinking they're going to make it modular in the sense that it's not going to match everything. They're just going to do it so that it fits with what they currently have.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I think this more or less fixes the main problem people have. It's the issue of making sure you have the people in the instance to attempt to make an attempt on the run.
okay.
That's the main issue, and
Yeah.
so I see this as basically fixing
I-
that complaint.
I see what chat's saying, that Yoshi-P said their initial intent was to have players engage with each other to group up, but they didn't foresee this problem happening. That is a terrible thing for him to say, because that was exactly the same thing he said during Eureka. That was almost, exactly what he said. And he's like, I'm shocked that this isn't happening. So it is strange that if that is what he said, because I've heard him say that before. We just don't do that in this game, Yoshi-P. That's
This
not.
is a very solo-focused MMO,
Yeah, it is.
even
And that-
in group content.
yes,
Also, we're not Japanese.
that too. But even
Well,
Yoshi-
even the Japanese.
we've heard that even the Japanese don't like the Fork Tower system. They're
Yeah.
not doing it there either. And remember, this is the Japanese live letter.
That's the only reason we got this.
essentially addressing the JP community during this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's not the West that's calling it Island Gotcha.
No. This is JP. So that's also why they're fixing it so quickly. Because if we had been moaning about it, it would have been like 7.5.
That would be next expansion.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about when the patch comes out. We're putting in multiple ciphers is increasing your chances to enter the tower, but it isn't possible to see who handed in how many ciphers. We're working on a list view that will show this in the future as well.
Yeah, that's like a personal
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
So you can try and give more ciphers if you want to, but
So he then added that we will require one cipher in the future to have a player indicate, I want to enter the tower in Prague. So,
it's like a separate system
yes.
for progress rather than clearers, I guess, or just
Yes.
priors. I
Oh,
don't know.
the impression I got from this is that, like, when you enter one cipher, you'll now be provided with a list to see how many ciphers everyone else has, so you can try and work
That's
around
possible. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense with what he said before, yeah. So there you go. Entry into the tower.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No
It's
issue with
improvement.
that.
Yeah.
These
That
updates
fixes-
will come with 7.3.
Yeah,
Yes.
it fixes the issue of trying to get into the same instance as the alliance you want to clear with.
Yeah. Okay, and then another question that some people have had. I wish there was a normal and savage version of the Fork Tower, like there was with Delubrum Regine.
This is
Oh no.
very valid.
Here is the Clipchamp moment. The simple answer on why we didn't have a normal and savage version is cost. I know this doesn't matter for a customer.
Now that's surprising as a response because it can't be that difficult.
No.
It just can't be that difficult.
It can't be that difficult.
Well, they always start with the strongest fight, and then they just simply like make that's how they work
just
on
lower
Savage.
the parameters.
They lower the parameters on them.
It can't. It's the same. It's entirely the same. It just needs to.
It has never been a problem
tuned
before, so it was
No.
strange that it was suddenly now. Like they did dilute
But it
the
depends-
Regine that way.
I do think it's a problem because they don't always make easier versions of content that they make.
But they did for Delubrum Regine.
It depends
Yes, I
on
know.
who this is for. If they want this to be ultra hardcore content that only 400 people will clear, then that's completely valid. As long as they're happy with that,
Yeah.
then that's fine. It may not be for us. Not all content in this game is for everyone. So if that's their vision for it, then fair enough.
But this implies that there wasn't a vision reason. They just didn't have the money to do it, which means they originally maybe wanted there to be two versions.
Well, that is true.
Otherwise,
agree
you wouldn't
with
say
that.
this.
I mean, I can't imagine making this content and thinking, oh yeah, those seven people will really like Forked Tower. I just can't imagine making content for so few people in such a popular piece of content.
They already do,
Ultimates.
Mela. Ultimates. Yeah.
No,
they do.
ultimates are very separate. It's a very separate system for the hardcore few. I'm happy with that. Leave it. But this is within a zone that hundreds and hundreds of people travel through daily to play with the critical engagements, the fates, whatever. And then they see the weathers pops up and like, oh, well, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chad is talking about that cost doesn't necessarily refer to money. It also refers to time and manpower.
That is true, but they're all costs that are within the same sort of business con.
Yeah.
They need to resolve those regardless.
Yeah.
And they managed to.
He also
to
did
do-
say at the opening of this live letter, just to add that it says we grew bigger. So like there is a bigger. It implies a bigger dev team.
Mm.
So there's some conflicting. I'm just saying from optics, like for the people that have been looking for a way to get Yoshi-P. I mean, this.
Oh
is,
no, I agree. I know that
They're
I
eating
know
good.
that people will manipulate this and sort of like use it for their own purposes.
Yeah.
I took this as a means of him being able. Sometimes Yoshi-P does this. He said this with the when he talked about the woman that comes along and asks him to come up with ways of monetizing 14 in terms of the online store. How he fears when she approaches.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's saying this as a means of. It sort of takes the responsibility off of him, and it allows him to put the pressure of putting pressure on the higher ups, not just from him, but it also allows him to say, look at the people that are saying we want something that we can't, that we as a company are unable to provide them in without more money or manpower
That's true.
or time.
Well, if that is,
I mean,
there's
that's a good way of doing it.
I understand too that people are saying, well, this is mistranslation, could mean this time or whatever. I do agree with Mela, it is interconnected, but I will say it does kind of line up with Square Enix as a company and how they run, which is not great. Unfortunately.
No.
But I will say this is not uncommon among Japanese companies, game development companies in the recent years.
no.
I was reading some stuff recently, but the Japanese economy is way more stagnant than I thought, and people are being way more conservative with their decision making in terms of game development, and they're being much more coy in bad ways. There are some exceptions here and there, of course, but Square Enix is not one of those exceptions. There was the recent stuff with was it Woolhead, I think, and the translations
Matsuno.
of Matsuno, with the translations of Final Fantasy
I thought this was
Tactics,
funny.
where there's a. I mean, I've said this before too, even for 14. There's a big clamoring for a Latin American translation, or even if it's just a general Spanish translation of many, many Final Fantasy games. But Matsuno himself says like, "Oh, I want this to happen." Square Enix, they're in charge of making it happen. They decide where the money's spent, and they don't want the money spent like that, or they feel like they don't want to take the risk. You know, so I think it's a similar situation here where they don't want to take the risk of investing more in 14, even though from our perspective, it seems like the more solid bet, like the safer bet anyway, but absolutely. I'm sure they have some fucked up numbers behind the scenes they're looking at that makes them think otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, there are huge costs associated with 14, not just on the game itself, but think about like FanFest, and travel. Yoshi-P's going all over the world. I mean, it's certainly not on his own dime. So there's a lot of marketing costs associated too.
I agree with that, but Yoshi-P has said that those are never really the issue in terms of money. He's said that like the loss of the FanFest or something like that does not impact them or having them.
No.
Yeah. It's a bad answer.
Yeah. Even if it is to like put pressure on the higher ups, it kind of looks. Yeah.
I mean, he's not like the decision maker like that, of course.
No.
He is in that kind of circle almost.
Yeah. It's not a good look for like an MMO to give the impression that they don't have the money to make things, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's, even if cost is not what that means, you have to think about what the common man will think when they hear this. They'll be like, oh my god, they have no money to make anything, but I've bought 60,000 Fantasias. Where does the money go? You know?
I mean, also, did he say cost in Japanese as well?
I trust the Reddit translation. I think they've had time to go through the translation as well to double check.
I agree with that.
I don't know. They've usually been quite accurate with, especially on such an important sentence as that. I would assume this is accurate.
Yeah.
No.
But
I
again,
think most
asterisk.
translations.
Yeah.
But most like other fan translations I see, those are the more kind of sus ones. If it doesn't come from the usual translators on the Reddit Discord, those are the ones that get more like, oh, they didn't actually say that. Like the old, was it the one about the mother or what's his face romancing? Like, you know what I'm talking about. There was the father figure, Thancred. Sorry, Thancred and his feelings for Minfilia were.
Yeah.
That was a mistranslation from a while ago.
Yeah.
Also, they did end this live letter with them announcing searches for new staff members, so that might help alleviate some of the issues here.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
It's a rough vicious circle of development in this team, especially with their old code.
Now, that's being said, I am not saying that this is about, like, I'm saying what people are going to say, okay? Don't worry. Don't worry. Also, sometimes Yoshi-P says things, and I don't think he thinks about what he's saying when he's saying it as well. I think maybe this is just a Yoshi-P-ism, where he's like, oh, we don't have the cost, and then he actually means something else. Who knows?
We will eventually get the digest of the live letter that will give us 100% what he means.
Yes.
Could you imagine if we relied just on that to get like info in English? That would it comes so late, and it's just okay.
It's like 4 weeks after the patch is when we get the digest. Okay, so go on.
I was just going to say, I think the real question here isn't necessarily the cost. I think the question is, why did they prioritize a version that less people would be able to access and enjoy?
That's a fantastic question.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it begs the question who the content's for.
Yeah.
And if it is for the hardcore, then there's no need for the normal version. There's no need for him to say about cost.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a longevity thing. You know? Kind of like arcade games, you know, like they made them really hard so you could keep coming back and playing for longer. So if they had to make a choice on the 50-50 of making it easier or making it harder, that, in their eyes, might be
that doesn't
more
work
worthwhile.
For this community, I'm afraid. Everyone who has failed to complete this within like their first 3 or 4 tries, more or less just given up. They said, I'm not going to clear this content, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least until everyone's figured out the mechanics, builds a guide, and then there's a Discord group to run me through.
Yeah. Well, he did also say that they weren't able,
So they weren't able to make a normal version of this in this instance, but for future instance, so the translation says for future instances of Occult Crescent, we will try to have both a normal and savage version. Mm-hmm. That might be
for the Tower of Magic.
Yeah, that might either be him just being Yoshi-P or a translation error. I mean, we know there's only going to be one more instance of Occult Crescent, but there seems to be now that they're going to have a normal and a savage version for the next one, for the Northhorn.
I'll try.
I will also say, speaking of like internal instances for field explorations, there has always only been one version. We're comparing it to Delubrum Reginae, but I think a closer comparison would be Dalriada, Castrum Lacus Littorio, Baldesionasul, and there is only one version of those.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were easy and fun, and sometimes they were super hard, and you had to go through other means to enjoy them.
So you could interpret this as saying we don't have the cost yet, and that could be an accurate interpretation in the sense that, no, they've never done two versions of this particular type of content in the past, but they would like to, and they are trying to expand into that. Not that he said that.
No,
that
exactly. Is not what he said, just so we're clear.
Sometimes it has been for everyone, and sometimes it's been for the hardcore, and you can admit that this was for the hardcore if you want, that's fine.
Yes.
But it's not what he said. He said that they wanted one for both.
Yes.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's better just to actually, we envisioned this for just a really hardcore audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry that you enjoy it.
Oh, that would go so poorly after the drought of mid-core stuff in general.
I mean,
and coming from the expansion that was essentially the hardcore only content expansion.
Yeah, that's true.
I would love if he just said "get good."
Well, he does have. We'll get to it a little later, but okay. So that's that. When sorry, are we not gonna have? Oh no, never mind. We'll get to it. Okay. When Magic Pot and Happy Bunny coffers contain only materia and fireworks, the rewards feel inadequate for the effort required. We've talked about this. Talked about this last week, I think, or the week before.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. The rewards are weird in this content.
Very.
So Yoshi-P said that we had every coffer give Gil as a reward as well, and our understanding of how rewarding that feels has been off.
Now you thought you only cared about the Gil.
Yeah, they value the Gil too much.
When I get like 1,200 Gil per MSQ quest, 5,000 Gil is not going to excite me at the end of a chest search.
No.
Getting a gold for the 200k feels good, I'll admit that. It's the only time in the game in PvE content you get more than a couple thousand, so it's great. Yeah.
He said that they feel that they've missed the mark on the rewards, and they are discussing how to change it. Maybe we have given rewards from coffer that have been too good in the past.
You've set our expectations incorrectly then, and it's not like you can go back and change them, because even if you did change what you get in Eureka, we still remember. You can't erase our memories.
No.
They were too good in the past. This is what they were meant to be like.
Well, the issue isn't even that. I don't think the issue is that they're too good now. I think the issue is that the ratio of what gives good rewards is bad.
Yes.
I think bronzes shouldn't give good rewards as easily as they do, and golds should give them more often.
Yeah. Gold should be the mount, not materia. Bronze is giving better rewards than gold half the time, other than the raw Gil. It's ridiculous. I think they've missed the mark on rewards quite a lot recently, though.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, look at our favourite, what they call allied societies, where there's literally no reason to progress after like rank 3 before you want is
that is the strangest thing that they've done.
The stories aren't worth it. I'll say that. So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. They have which It's interesting because before Dawn Trail, remember he said that we were going to get more rewards, and I guess
2,000% more rewards, he said, I think, and it's barely
He
seen
did
that.
not
What
say
was it,
2,000%.
I love lying
1.5
so
times
much.
rewards?
well, Mela's getting ready for our new arc. I see where you just lie.
Yeah.
yeah.
What was it? 1.5 times reward or something?
Yeah,
he had a figure. He did say a
1.5
figure.
or
I do
something.
think
Yeah.
I do think between all the new content, that's probably accurate.
Yes, that's what I
There has
mean.
been the opportunity to get 1.5 times the rewards we have in the past.
It was just Monkey's Paw because you're getting the
They're
Occult
old
Crescent
rewards.
rewards. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
old.
They're not new. He didn't say they would be new rewards. He's just getting more of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this one doesn't really bother me that much, but, you know, it's fine. I mean,
I don't
I think
care.
it's an okay way to get a lot of the minions and stuff that you couldn't, that I'm no longer
Exactly.
able to get because I don't do, you know, Eureka anymore and stuff, so I don't really care that
It
Yeah.
much.
feels
I
like
just-
they threw all systems in this one, though. The imps and the bunnies and just random chests.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just bonus rewards. I don't think too hard about them, you know. Maybe I'm just addicted to that gambling life of gacha, so you know, I can
Yeah.
take them
I
like
mean,
a month older. It's fine.
I'm just waiting until they crash the market on the Cassie earrings.
Oh,
One day.
are the Cassie...
People will be angry.
They're not in...
No, they're not
wait
in
for
these.
Okay.
They're not in these coffers.
Okay, good.
Cassie
for now.
earrings are the new hunting hawk,
I see.
and that was a good time
Yeah.
when that crashed.
Okay, the next question was, enemies in Fates can be defeated too quickly. Unless you're
Yeah,
paying close
that's
attention,
nice.
a fate may be completed before you've even arrived.
You're saying you don't enjoy having the map open at all times when you're not in combat?
That's how I play this content.
Yeah.
So,
This isn't limited to this instance, Yoshi-P said, but it's difficult to adjust parameters to when an instance is crowded and when it's nearly empty. I do feel like it's better to have these parameters set in a way that mobs feel easier than for the parameters to make the fights take longer, even when you have a large group of players. But he said that we will try to push these to the limits. So
generally, I agree with that sentiment. I would rather, you know, when you're doing old content and soloing fates in, let's say like Shadowbringers Zones or whatever,
yeah,
and you do the like normal one so easily, but you get to a boss one, and it takes so long, even though you're the only person there.
yeah,
Ilmeg is empty. It's
Yeah.
just you and the boss, and it takes forever.
mm-hmm.
I'm okay with things being slightly easier for lower parameters, but there needs to be. I think they should reduce damage numbers or something, and just ever so slightly buff HP, or when the instance is low. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Or
don't.
have
It
a
is
thing
difficult.
where they have like once they hit 1% health, they have like a 10-second immune to damage, just to give people like a little chance to get there or something.
Yeah, maybe like I don't know. I don't know how like the system detects, if it is even able to detect how many people are in a fate. But no, I don't know.
It tries
It's difficult.
to. It just doesn't. It bases it on previous content within the zone, which is the difficulty.
Yeah.
I don't think it can adjust, like, as the information just arrives. It can only adjust based on what it knows in the past.
Yeah.
It's why if you do like a fate train, it'll start off really easy if no one's been in the instance, and then it will slowly progress
Yeah.
harder. And then that poor guy who goes in after you is fighting like 400 million HP.
Yep.
Marlboro because,
Yep.
juiced it.
Yeah. So that they're working on it. Next, this is my favorite question. Please increase
fully
the
agree
drop
with his
rate
answer, sir.
for Demi-Atma and Soul Shards.
How can
and-
you even want this?
And Yoshi-P's answer is, I do think it's just personal RNG.
It is.
Which, yeah, that is what it is.
It really is.
You can get this. You can technically get this day one. You can get your relic day one if you're very
You
lucky.
can. Now that we know the rates,
Yes, he gave.
I got myself on a probability calculator website and started looking into it just to see
Yeah.
what the data.
I was surprised they gave the rates, to be honest. Sorry,
Same.
Roland.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the rates just aren't too bad. Like, if you really just want to get it, then just do Fate farms in the overworld. It's 5%, but Fates go by so much quicker. So just
That's
yeah.
true.
I mean,
Yeah,
it does.
you can
Con-
just
Seas
go
is
back to back.
is
Yeah.
almost a guarantee
Yeah, just so we get to the
within
numbers. He gave us the numbers because I think he gave us the numbers because people are probably murmuring and being like, oh, it's way too long, it's way too long.
0.1%.
Yeah, the drop rate for critical events is 20%, okay? Fates is 5%. So that is 20% is high. And he, just to underline how big that is, he told us that, and we talked about this a couple of episodes ago about my horrendous Atma farm. At the beginning, 2% drop rate. And you have to, he also went through like this whole thing. He had to like explain probability. Like he had to like explain how this works. 20, go on, Gary.
The 2% is for the Realm Reborn Atmas.
Original Atma. He did then say that they adjusted it up to 20%, which is its current rate. And we have to remember that 20% is 20% every time you go into a CE.
No, I do it 5 times. That means I get 1 guarantee. That's how probability works.
And then he said, we obviously want to keep random drops as a feature in the game. So this isn't changing. He also said, we're not buffing the drop rates for now.
Yeah. I did it calculated on like 20 critical engagements in a row. And it was like a 98% chance that you'd get a drop.
Yeah.
But with the 2% Atmas, that's like a 33% chance of a drop after 20 fates. And that's a long time. So I know it's a rough grind, but you only ever have to do it once. And sometimes your RNG will be fantastic and you'll get, 3 or 4 in a row. Sometimes you won't get too many. It's not, it's fine.
Yeah, I didn't play that much, and I got it within a week, didn't I?
Yeah, and that's...
Yeah.
For people who, for the OG Relic lovers, a week is a short period of time to complete.
Yeah. And you're not in a rush. I mean, there's...
there's no rush. The whole point is to grind for it, because once you've got it, you've got it.
Yeah.
Then the fun's over.
I will say that Lakil did get the Relic before either Mailer and I, and he also spent probably the least time in Occult Crescent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was very lucky.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I already have it. I mean, I have the app. I haven't turned it in. I just don't want the Relic, so...
Oh, come
on. It's pretty
So
easy.
you just keep Atmas in your inventory, taking up 6 slots rather than 1 Relic.
Why?
I mean, one day, maybe once I...
You don't even get it when you deliver them, Rollo. You can deliver them and free up your inventory. You actually don't get it because you have to pay for the tomes as well. You have to pay
there's a second step.
Yeah, so
you can just get rid of the Atlas.
You can get rid of your Atlas.
Collecting them.
Yeah, just get rid of them.
You still get them, though. Anyway, don't you?
No, not once you've done that step. You stop getting them. Yeah.
Only when the quest is active, Roller.
What if I want to cap them to 999?
If you want to do that, go ahead.
But they will only ever take the ones that they need once.
Yeah, the 6. 3 of each.
So there you go.
Yeah, I didn't have to try too hard, honestly. As a guy who hates the rates in these games for RNG shit, usually regarding the Relic, I'll say it is good enough for me to just not care. Like I don't. It's fine.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay, so there you go. No change to Demi-Atma. I do agree that Soul Shard seems... I feel like I had less... But again, it's all luck.
It's the
20%.
same drop rate.
It's the same drop rate. So
remember when we were in there and Georgi manifested 3 in a row for me?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I already manifested 2 in a row for me, so I can't do it all the time.
No.
Yeah, so sometimes good things happen.
I think I just missed rate... No, Berserker, I think, is the one I'm
missing. I only missed Berserker as well. No. I don't know, one of them. I missed.
Oracle's the one I'm still missing. I got to work on that.
Oh yeah.
But that keeps you going.
Sorry for all 3 of you.
Gives you more reason to go back in. Yeah.
Exactly. If you had everything.
What I want them to increase is the drop rate of field notes. He didn't tell us that information.
That I agree with. I don't even. Yeah. I wonder what the drop rate is.
Exactly the same. I hope it
probably is
20% and 5%.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
This is one that we talked about last week, and I agree. The window for Auroral Mirages is too short, making it impossible to get there in time if you are in a critical encounter.
It is, yeah.
It is.
Yes.
Yoshi-P says that we are changing the system around the weather condition Auroral Mirage. The weather condition will not spawn until the environment allows for it, meaning no active CEs. This only pushes the weather condition back and doesn't reduce the amount of it spawning.
Fine.
So that is a good change.
Acceptable, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see a CE spawn while the weather is like that, you're making the choice to go to the CE rather than trying to attempt Fork Tower.
Yes.
So active C means that you're in it though, because oftentimes it'll spawn pre the C actually happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There will be
That's
no
fine.
active CEs when the weather spawns. So yeah.
Okay.
There was also he added additionally that there's been some they've been informed of a cast translation error in the French and German client that they will be fixing next hotfix. That includes it's affecting the difficulty of a mechanic. So he brought up the Omega raid as an example, where in Japanese it's just left right, but in the English it's starboard and larboard.
Well,
Not even a modern term.
No.
Could have been port.
Yeah.
is it a translation error or is it error? Is
Yeah, it's interesting,
implies that
isn't
it's
it?
incorrect.
Yeah.
When it's just more complex than it has to be.
The Omega one was localization.
Yeah, that's Koji
Yes.
Fox. Koji Fox written all over that translation, I think.
The first Scala boss, that was an error.
Yes.
Yes,
That's true.
That one was funny though.
That one
I
actually was
honestly
just wrong.
remember when we were trying to rationalize it by that Kelpie would be Trixie.
Yeah.
And that
So
was just
quick to
wrong.
accept just something that's just wrong.
Yeah.
It couldn't be wrong. No, push means pull.
If chat is correct, then it is actually an error where the cast is supposed to say if it's in or out, but the cast is the same for both in German and French.
Oh, it's the same.
that's funny.
Interesting.
That's the kind of stuff that Yoshi-P was talking about earlier, where like they're getting a little complacent and making those kinds of mistakes and let them slip
Yeah.
through. That
Yeah.
Exactly.
he meant that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that should never happen. But it does.
Yeah, because
I think
it
Yoshi-P.
yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, I think Yoshi-P just wants to remind Koji Fox of what he did.
He wants to rub it in again, yeah. Yes, so there you go. That is that. Now, moving on to Cosmic Exploration. Can you allow us to use mounts? And he didn't really... He just said, yeah. In 7.3, you'll be able to use mounts during Cosmic Exploration. And for the new exploration content released in 7.31, you will be able to mount up from the start. So...
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you.
Easy, good answer.
It's nice. I don't think that zone is one I particularly care too much about being on, not being on a mount. Like I think it's more of a detriment for this one in particular.
I think in some instances, yes. But if you're doing gatherer missions, and especially before you get the Cosmo line or whatever it's called, it's torturous having to
in
run
the old
everywhere.
days.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. There's not that much to admire. You know what I mean?
Oh no, it's ugly. It's a very ugly zone.
Like, I mean, there's some cool buildings, but it's not like an expansion zone where
I don't want
take
to
it all in.
explore it or be there.
No. The
True.
cave area that I'm sure none of you three have explored, that was the
We've been
last
in the
added
cave.
section. Oh, have you?
We went in it.
yeah, we
stream
went
for
in the
sure.
cave.
You mean the one in the bottom left?
No.
Oh, there's another
That's
Is
one.
not
there
a
a second
cave.
cave? We've definitely been in a cave.
The bottom left has open to the sky. You can see the sky in the bottom.
Oh, yeah, that's
bottom right
true.
is the top.
Oh,
the top
okay.
right is actually a cave.
Okay,
which,
no,
as I said, none of you have been to.
Mm-hmm.
It was very not fun looking around it before the Cosmo liners were built into it.
Okay, I see. We were just, it was called the tunnel, Mela, when we were...
Oh, we were in the
teased
tunnel. Sorry, we were in a
it was
tunnel,
a
not a
tunnel
cave.
that led to the open area.
I see.
yeah.
Don't have the
Okay.
mouse
did.
fly though. That I think I agree with.
No,
that.
I agree.
agree.
Yeah.
No flying.
Ground
No
mount
flying.
zone.
Yeah. Please increase the time limit for missions. This is feedback that they got from gatherers a lot, and they will adjust the timers for some of these missions. So
Great.
there you go.
In particular for fishing missions, it just felt like you were I know we were talking about the RNG earlier and how we liked it. The amount of time you have and the RNG you get, particularly with fishing missions, but also to a certain degree with botanist and miner missions, it feels like the game is just bullying you when you're doing everything right, and just like there's nothing you can do to make it a gold. You can't force fish onto your hook.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a little unfair on those.
Yeah.
ones.
So yeah, that is being adjusted, so that'll make it easier. Please make the mission report window open automatically, which is something I didn't really think about, but it is kind of annoying now that I think about it. You do a mission, you finish it, and now you have to click the button that now has this little symbol on it to get the mission complete window. Why that didn't just pop up automatically is kind of strange. And Yoshi-P agrees with that. He says, I do believe this is a feature we should have had from the start, but we didn't. This will change in the future. So,
Thank you.
I mean, I think basically what you said is why they didn't think of it. It's just
Yeah.
it didn't come to them at first.
yeah. Okay. Please make it so that your GP is fully restored after completing gathering missions.
That was super annoying.
Yeah.
I'm
wish-
surprised
yes.
I didn't realize that one was like a thing.
Yeah.
I wish GP didn't exist in the way it exists. It's so frustrating.
It's there to prevent
It's
bots.
to stop bots.
100%.
I know it is,
But
it was such a
I'm not a
frustrating
bot,
system.
though.
No,
I'm not a bot.
I agree. And I wish this also...
Would you like them to make you complete a capture every time you switch to
Yeah,
gathering?
I live there.
yeah.
Click on
You know
all
what,
those
just-
crosswalks and fail 5 times.
Let's ruin it for everyone. CP doesn't come back either until you
Oh
wait.
god, it acts in the same way. No.
Because that would prevent bots. Because bots can craft too, you know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I wish this also extended to just normal leaves as well, because that's the worst thing. If you're leveling with
Yeah.
normal leaves, you're doing gathering, and you run out of GP, and you just have to stand there next to the
Yeah.
leave meat and just wait for your GP to recover. It's so annoying.
So boring.
Yeah.
Well, soon you'll have something to fill in that void while you're waiting. You can start playing 14 mobile while you're waiting.
Gather on that as well.
Yeah, so you can,
You can manage your GP between them.
Can
so you
wait,
never
yeah.
yeah. Optimize, man.
Yoshi-P says that from now on, you will get back the GP that you used, and cast timers for cordials will reset upon completion of a gathering.
That's nice.
That's fair enough. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't go in with low GP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Does that mean it tracks the amount of GP you used altogether? So that, like, if you used 800 GP, used a cordial, and then used more GP, it would give you all of it back? Or does it just check what you had at the start and then resets you to it?
Oh,
Probably the latter. I think that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna, yeah.
I think.
I don't
yeah,
think
it'll
it's that
probably take a
in depth that
snapshot.
it can.
It has all of the logs though. It could follow through, but knowing this game, that would then cause
think
like
it's
a
a
5
simpler
second delay
system.
while it calculates it.
Yeah, I think it'll just snapshot what you have when you start the mission. Okay. Next, please make it easier to understand when sequential missions are available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That's simple. I
Yeah.
don't know, put
Sure,
a number
yeah.
on it. Something.
I feel I just stumbled onto the fact that sequential missions existed. I don't even. It does not do anything to really explain how they work.
No. Yoshi-P then said that sequential missions have been difficult to see just in the chat window. We will improve this. So we're looking at the data for project and we'll keep monitoring this. Oh, sorry. This
I
might
wish
be the
that-
answer for the next thing, actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
Yeah. I wish that they would, instead of just having to switch to the tab that has timed missions, I wish there was something that let you know that there are timed missions. Like even just like
Yeah.
that green dot that shows new information has appeared in a certain tab.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
like for OC, they have the UI expands when a critical engagement appears. Why can't it just have a little expanding bit underneath saying,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yes.
time sensitive or weather sensitive missions are available right now"?
Yeah.
Not that hard,
No.
but maybe it was just again an oversight, which
Yeah.
QA issues,
Yeah.
not enough playtesting. Yoshi-P.
Please, okay, this is also a thing that we've talked about. Please make projects easier to successfully complete. Now, this is, of course, because projects now, when there's not enough people,
Oh, sorry,
They-
yeah, that's what. Yeah,
they
those
fail.
things.
which we've seen a lot of, and I've seen it's quite infuriating to see when it happens, because a lot of it is because players realize how much they have to do, which is to walk to one spot, click, go to another spot, click, and then they do like the bar barely moves. And
I mean,
then
to
they
be
start
fair, though,
tapping out.
it's-
They all start tapping out, and the bar just slows, and then
It's
stops.
lower than mobile gaming levels of engagement. Though.
Yes.
It's truly miserable
It
content.
is. Yeah.
With no reward, pretty much.
I
Yeah.
thought you liked Cookie Clicker, Mela.
Oh, that gives me dopamine because number goes up. Here, number doesn't really go up.
Oh,
It does go up.
bar
So
go up.
slowly.
That's not a number.
Yeah.
Bar is
Yeah,
not
bar
number.
is not number.
Bar is not number. It's true. So
It keeps track of how many times you contributed. There is a number. Stop
When I-
lying.
yeah.
On day
No,
one, I
baby
was
number.
doing
Need big number.
100 contributions, and I very quickly stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And now I don't do any contributions. I let it happen by other people.
That's when he said that we're looking at the data for projects and we'll keep monitoring this. And they're working on a system that allows for a sort of follow-up to a failed project. Did not say that they're working on a way to make them easier to complete. So,
Or more fun.
or more fun.
No need
So,
for fun.
You
I
didn't
think
ask the
they should
question properly,
actually
sorry.
they should add it so if you do fail a project, you actually de-rank your settlement. Really get that OC punishment in there, you know.
Like what? Like a meteor comes in and just.
Yeah, it breaks something so you go down to like the rank below. Now you have to work your way back up.
Yeah. Please, this one is kind of I don't like
I hate
this question.
complaint.
Yeah. Please keep the relative positioning of shops and NPCs constant as the base develops. Are you really that baby brain that you have no
Bots,
object
that's bot.
permanence? You'd be
That
like,
is
oh,
bot behavior.
yeah, that
They
is.
don't
Yeah, it is bot
move that
behavior.
much.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
They don't.
My
But that
bot
is so bot
program will
behavior.
lose track of where the shops are or whatever.
How blatant.
Yeah, it is.
If
And-
anything, make them move on have them have it on a path
yeah.
all the
I
time,
mean-
moving.
I mean, we said this
Unbelievable.
during the coverage. Move them more. Each
Yeah.
Yeah.
upgrade.
I like that because
Why
it
should
shows.
orbiting way be in a tent still or something in the middle of
It
nowhere?
shows that
Give me a house.
they've put a lot of thought into like the upgrade. Like it means it upgrade. Like the changes
Exactly.
are significant, right? If they just stay in the same place, it's kind
What's
of
the point?
Yeah,
And also, what we said during the live coverage: if these people had their way, Rowena would still be standing in a tent in Mordona,
yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
But she upgraded to that weird building cut
the
in
House
the
of
rock.
Splendors.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and the answer, the fact that he did not clock that this is because people use bots is kind of. I mean, we're saying that is not allegedly, but I mean, why else would you
Well,
We're
not
just making
want?
shit up. I don't know.
You know, why
no
else
reason
would you
otherwise.
complain about this?
But exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this really that much of an issue for you? Oh my god!
There's only
every 5 days they move.
Yeah.
there's only like what 3 NPCs anyway.
Yeah.
It's not that
Like,
much
Just
to keep
park
track
yourself
of.
near it for the day if you want to be near it.
Yes.
You're not shifting all the fucking NPCs in like the Sapphire Exchange or whatever avenue in Ul'dah. Like
Yeah.
all fucking 20 of them. No, you did like 3.
Yeah. Which is why the
Madness.
Yoshi-P's reply feels a little strange. We put too much emphasis on the looks of how a developed base would look. For the future releases, we're reworking the level designs.
So they'll be fucking
They got an
shanty
excuse
towns
to
now.
do
the
less
game.
now.
Go.
Yeah.
It
gotta
will
say
say
it's
rank
like
20, but
that.
it will look like rank 1 because it's.
Botters
I don't want to move the bot.
Botters have found whole new ways to ruin the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, okay.
This is their
Here's what
game
we do.
now.
We gotta get the community on our side on this one. We gotta
Okay.
say, Yoshi-P, if you do this, it is woke. So
Yes.
it's don't do that.
Okay.
I don't think. I mean, based on what I know about Yoshi-P, I don't think that would make him respond the way you want him to.
No.
No, for the community, so they can get an uproar. and they're
Yoshi-P is
like,
compromised, Rollo. Don't you know?
Yoshi-P, if you make the NPCs not move, that is woke. Don't do it.
If you suspect someone of botting, open a trade window with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But though I am sure at this point, bot programs
just keep doing
already know how to deal with that. You're right?
Yeah, but set up a bot program to open a trade window with.
Oh, you have the battle of the bots.
Bot the bots.
Oh, that's a good idea. Please have holograms installed from the beginning. This one I understand a little more. Because
Well, we have the tech now, so we can use the tech to. in the
yes, that's
future.
what I was thinking as well. Now that it is there, it makes sense that it's there from the beginning in the next installment. And Yoshi-P said from the next exploration, holograms will be installed from the beginning. So not much to say about that. Please add more incentives to continue playing once we've finished Cosmic Tool Enhancement and gotten the current rewards.
That's fair, though.
He didn't really say anything specific here. He did just say that, acknowledge that it is clear that incentives to keep people keep playing after finishing your tool and got the rewards are lacking. So they are aware.
But to be fair, though, why?
Yeah, why?
Because if I have gone and completed a piece of content in its entirety, I don't why would I need motivation to return there anyway?
I mean, it's the same for like dungeons. Why do you return there? Because you get tomes.
Yeah.
Why don't they give us like regular scripts?
Scripts, that's true. We should be getting scripts from here. That's a good point.
I mean, the fact that you're questioning
actually,
Mela,
why don't we?
From what? From where? From
Why
here?
don't we get scripts from doing the missions?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Why? That is a good way of making this.
No, yeah, you've solved it. That's easy. Yeah, you've solved it.
We did it.
I can't believe we don't get, because we get tomes from OC. Why don't we get scripts from this?
I mean, it still annoys me we don't get scripts from Gather or Crafter Society quests either.
Yeah, it is weird
They
how
don't
restrictive
care.
they are. On that.
Scripts are so precious to them. So precious.
Yeah. This one was so. I didn't even bother adding all the fucking bullshit he said during this, but like, please implement a retainer bell. And the one thing he said that I'm somewhat okay with them like holding back is that this content is accessible pre-Dawn Trail, so they can't use the skin that they use on the Solution 9 summoning bell.
That's fine though.
But obviously just use the old one. You don't have to use the current day, bell. But also he started with the bullshit of like, how do they get there? Will people believe that a retainer can go to the moon? What do you mean? We are literally nothing. You can do whatever you want.
How can my retainer get to Solution 9 so quickly? They live in Uldar.
If that is an issue, just do the same thing you did for Shadowbringers, where like instead of a fairy popping up, it's a Loporrit. Okay,
do that.
Like, okay,
sure.
Come on, you're creative. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I do hope they do that. They probably just didn't think of it. It's just a small thing that you can, because it's not even side content.
Retainer.
Yeah,
that's also possible. That'd be cool.
It is strange because there seems to be just a couple. There's a few things that they will just they don't really want to do, and that's like retainer appearing in places they shouldn't, and black mages wearing armor. Essentially, like that is the no-go zone. Going around in massive mechs across Middle Enosia.
That's
thumbs
fine.
Up.
Yeah, we love that.
Bikini tanks.
Getting a car and fly.
Yeah,
more.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can break and enter into someone's property and summon my retainer there.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it on the moon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I mean,
yeah.
As frustrating as those complaints you had are, there are explanations for them
that they've made.
Like, yes, that they've made. I agree.
Yeah.
So that's what they were waiting for. They were trying to think of an explanation.
Yes.
They have had.
And we've given them some.
Absolutely, just completely destroy any sense of coherence in the art style of this world and get away with it. So they can put bells on the moon.
And they are. TLDR, they are putting retainer bells on the moon. Next, please make it easier to get to the Cosmic Exploration Base.
Please.
He is. Yes. Well, they are making it easier, but it was a little unclear. They mentioned a teleport ticket to Driving Way. That I'm sure they're going to put on the lottery, the wheel. That seems to be it. That seems to be their solution. It is frustrating because there is very clearly an aetheryte thing that they say is not an aetheryte, but
very clearly say it's not.
Why they couldn't just make it so that you can interact with the aetheryte in the Best Way burrows and then choose to travel from there, I will never understand, because they've done that with other things.
Because there are actually aetherytes already on the moon.
Yeah, there are.
So it's a it doesn't really make any logical sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Just make it on the Aetheryte, like the Firmament is.
Oh, did they actually say that? They did not include that in the translation. If that is true, then that is
What are you
exactly what
responding
they're
to,
doing.
Nikhil?
Chat, sorry, chat is saying that there is. They did specifically mention that they're going to add the option to teleport from the Aetheryte.
Good.
Citation needed.
Citation needed. Obviously, we don't. We look for the live letter digest in about 2 months, and you'll see if we were right. Okay, that is that.
It's time for the good bit.
I mean, it's such a strange way to start a live letter to not start with the new content.
Depressing, wasn't it, for the first hour or so?
Well,
but it was. I mean, it's good.
It was nice to clear the air, I guess. There was a lot of murmuring.
Look who it is.
Oh, it is actually before we start on this. Actually, we can keep this up. He also mentioned that they will start moderating the forums.
Oh yes.
That they are now deleting.
Where will they go?
I mean,
to our comments section.
Yeah,
moderating more. Don't imply that they didn't moderate them at all.
I have to say, their moderation was abysmal.
Shocking.
What little moderation they did was if they explicitly doxed Yoshi-P. That would be when they acted. There was. If you looked closely, there was especially on the English forum.
You don't have to look that closely.
You don't.
No, you didn't.
So much vitriol. Gone are the days of Ahriman with big juicy lips and the good old days. We need to move back to those.
Yeah. I mean, in accordance with how apparently the entire world has lost their mind, even the official 14 forums now have to actually do some work to keep up with all the hate and vitriol that's coming into that place. So, yeah, that's just a heads up to all our hateful viewers out there. It'll a little harder for you to be hateful on the official forums. I'm sure you'll stick around in our comments section. All right.
Always welcome here.
No, you're not. All right.
Blueberry.
Early August 2025. The Promise of Tomorrow is the name of the patch.
That'll be fingers crossed the 12th of August.
Yeah, it's probably the 12th.
It can't be later than the 12th. Earliest it would be the 5th.
It could be
that
the
would
5th.
Be nice, but I don't think it's the 5th.
No.
I'm praying for the 12th. I'm off that week.
Yeah, I think it is the 12th.
Oh, okay.
They usually tend to lean on the latest part of, they try to go as late as they can within the boundary they set.
Look, it's
standard
Shale and the other
quality.
guy.
Where's Shale? Oh yeah. Standard quality text. They're not up to not up to the Iran Reborn days, but it's fine. Fine.
It's no
dream of ice.
Customized.
It's no dream of ice. I'll say that.
I'm starting to forget what these look like. Let me just look, because I feel like you're way too
always write
rose-tinted.
Final Fantasy XIV patch blah 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 underneath?
I don't know. I don't
did.
remember that.
No, I don't remember.
Apparently.
It feels out of place then.
They did. They have always done that.
Look at how jacked
Really nice artwork.
Erinville looks.
I just
I
have
know
to
he's
say,
got the biggest tree trunk arm.
Yeah, oh
it's
my
not
God.
that crazy, Mela.
Look,
I just
Don't
need to
worry about
confront you with your rose-tinted glasses
Don't
sometimes, because
confront
you
me.
keep saying this, and I just don't understand what you mean. Okay, this artwork is special for another reason, because this is drawn by the Final Fantasy IX artist, whose name escapes me at this time, but that is cool. That's why it kind of looks a little different, because it is this is the IX illustrator. Makes you wonder if there's a reason
soft,
why
isn't it?
that IX artist just happened to be available, just passing by the Square Enix office. IX remake.
you know why? Because of the new Vivi merchandise.
I mean, it's very exciting to say all this, but has the IX artist always worked at Square Enix? Or are they independent? Because if
Maybe
they've always
not.
been there, it's less exciting.
That is
Yeah.
true.
It's nice art though.
Yes.
I like it a lot.
Yes.
It has all the good gang.
Yeah, there's all the people
Cryle has
we
a book.
expect to see in here.
Not Cryle, sorry. What's her name?
Sveen.
Sveen.
Yeah, Sveen has a book confirmed.
So she will be a healer / damage, probably.
Yeah. Okay, then we have. They showed us some pictures from the MSQ. As usual, there's not much to
Nothing
really
to say
get
here
out of
on
this.
that slide. Definitely something to say there, though.
Like
Some sort of glitch is going on.
yeah,
wigging
glitchy
out.
soldier.
Yeah.
Oh, it's creepy pasta.
Yeah.
Hyper realistic Squidward.
Yeah. And then we got.
He's changed his outfit.
Well, he did that last.
He did that
last patch.
2 patches ago now, actually.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him really much.
God, what's his name? I forgot his name now.
Aaron.
Aaronville. Aaronville, and someone wearing that proto regulator.
Regulator.
And yeah,
The
something's
evil
happening.
one.
And then
Neo regulator, the opposite of proto.
yeah, Neo, that's it. And then the
Some little baby boy with a pen.
baby boy with a pen. Okay. Anyways, there's no point in us talking about the MSQ because we don't know anything.
It's so
Damn, you got
naked.
barely covering anything, sir. Oh my god.
Yeah, the new Allied Society quest
The
is
fucking
Yokai.
Yokai lingerie.
He's cute.
Don't
Such a
careful.
I think this is what some of them already wear,
the
Melee.
red
It's just
ones, I
highlighted.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just highlighted by
Yeah.
putting him in such a vibrant color,
Yeah.
like that Mamul jar in the pink gun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just funny.
I feel like you'd
I-
smell him if like a breeze came by. The gooch sweat would just.
This guy
looks
is
like
not.
some
He's
cold, so-
not covered up. There's no point to this armor.
It's not necessarily
can-
armor.
It's
everything-
ritual, bro. You won't
This is
understand.
it's his cultural.
You cultureless
cultural
swine,
attire.
Mela.
Yeah,
It's-
culturalist.
Yeah.
He's got
Okay.
the toes out.
So we have him dealing with some sort of this thing, the
So I don't hate
robot.
this because it's clearly the Tender Valley like culture.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So I'm okay with this weird robot. I mean, they're very robot heavy at the moment, but this one's
Yeah.
okay. I think
Yeah.
he's kind of cooler.
Oh,
Aww.
And the
Which one's their face?
they're bald. Oh no,
yeah, the bald
babies
ones.
are bald.
The babies are bald. Which babies
The
usually
babies are
are.
bald.
Yeah, they usually are.
But
a
they have
little
no
bald.
ears. Is the weird thing.
Oh yeah, they are
like a
earless.
bald baby.
I like the top one's coat. Looks like it has a second face on him.
Yeah.
The middle. They're very cute.
But his eyes are
maybe
wearing
not
out
the
though.
mount.
He's tweaking a little
Yeah.
bit.
He's tweaking hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit too much.
The Guardians of the Mountain.
Yeah.
I like him. I like this place.
And they show off
I'm
this new
intrigued.
area, which is either instanced or they're building a new area will appear in this region.
Can't wait to hear what very very minor inconvenience we'll have to resolve in this Allied Society.
Well, that has been the theme for Dawn Trail social allied society.
got many rocks. Oh, well, we'll build a rockery.
It pisses me off though because there was so much potential with the Mamul jar.
I know.
And I haven't finished
Yeah.
it quite yet, but there's been so little pushback to a complete change of their way of life.
Yeah.
Madness, isn't it?
Very
There should have
little
been
intrigue.
much more conflict
Yeah.
and a lot more introspection on where they've come from.
Yeah.
I love the Yokai though. I really like. I mean, Okapatch is my favorite place, probably
Yeah.
anyway. So nice to
Oh
be
yeah,
back.
they're pretty neat. I like them.
They were cool. Excited to. I hope that big bunny's not the mount. I assume the small bunny will be a minion.
They will be minions. He teased that. at
But I
first.
don't want the big bunny to be a mount because that would be weird. He has like a frozen poo.
They might have a different
I don't
idea. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe the robot
Will
thing.
it be that?
The robot could.
Yeah, I feel like the robot seems more likely, but I mean, I feel like we'd hold on to the mount in the same way you hold on to the Pysa mount.
Yeah. Is it a Python model?
I think it is.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Maybe a Yokoi mount.
I
don't think they'll do that.
He'll do that.
I think it's very denigrating to
Yeah.
another
No.
species.
It's his choice.
They teased Hildebrand. Not much to say again. This is story based, so I mean, egg.
She's
Yeah.
in Vanguard.
Not shoe with an egg in Vanguard. That's what that image is. And then Hardy boiled doing a face being blown away.
Yeah.
He's doing the funny face.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to stop without saying the end of that sentence, because I could say that.
That too. And Sheriff Kamaka.
Yeah.
As well.
Very popular online.
I like him. He was probably my favorite character in that zone. Probably of the like hyper American characters.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool. I think we will. Georgi and Nikhil will do Hildebrand in the Friday. I managed to find a period of time where it wasn't boiling hot to do it, so I'm aware
Mela
of
is
the ending
suffering.
of the last one. I'm suffering. It should end soon, hopefully, in one way or another.
Well, it'll end in about 2 months, Mela, so hang in there.
I'm
you're
excited
lucky.
for Hildebrand. It was a cool story. This one.
Yeah. Then they showed the dungeon.
Yeah.
The Meso.
The Jar Jar Binks Miso Terminal.
Miso terminal. Which is
This is the big thing in the middle of unlost memory. What's it called?
We always say it wrong.
Living memory.
Living memory. It's that central part there.
Unlost world.
That's
Unlost world.
Yeah.
Sure. That's cool because that was where a lot happened there. Big deal.
Yes,
That's where that man is now.
Yes, but I don't think we've physically been inside it. I don't know if we're physically inside it this time, because last time we went into it, it was a program.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
But this first screenshot,
yeah,
has the right visuals, kind of, but I just don't.
Yes,
there is some sort
but
of
not
device.
the later ones.
No, not the latest.
Not the later ones, but there is some sort of device in the center as well with looks like you can shoot some sort of beam down.
That's
maybe?
true.
So
Most dungeons this expansion have been split into 3 chunks
and
with some of them with quite different visuals. So
that seems to be the case this time as well.
we may end up into a portal.
Maybe.
In the latter half.
We see this picture. Now, it looks like we're getting into more Alexandria stuff.
Yeah, it's like an infirmary or something.
Yeah, like very 1800s, 1700s. Like
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then they ruin it with all these modern things.
Is this what they
just-
were?
Oh, yeah, how dare they increase the technology behind their medicine?
Yeah.
Well, if
They
you've
should
increased the
suffer.
technology behind your medicine, then you just upgrade everything.
Is this what they want?
Why?
I don't know.
Is this not what you want? Do you want them to knock down the big... Sorry, Likhil.
Yeah.
Do you want them to knock down all the historic buildings in
No.
downtown London just so that they
wow.
can match the aesthetic of the current world?
Yeah, that's
It's just
the opposite of what you want,
like these were
Mela.
put in. It feels like these were put in.
They were
by
put in later.
The Solution 9 people rather than
No,
the
King's Cross
Alexandrians.
gotta go. Fuck
The
that
Solution
place.
9 people are the Alexandrians.
I know, but their whole civilization's moved on from this architecture. I feel like, based on what Solution.
So you
9
don't
looks like.
maintain any old buildings in the
Well, look
modern
at
world.
the ruins of Alexandria in
Well,
Heritage Found.
Well, we
That's
don't-
a ruin.
well, this
Yeah, because that was after the storm surge.
this is not
Most
current
things will
day. I think this is some sort of construct program, Mela, of Alexandria as it was
but
before.
this clearly is some sort of crossover period.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
You
before
guys
the
can
storm
stay on
surge.
this as long as you want. I won't
Yeah,
stop you.
but we have proof that Alexandria, they found, they got the electrope, and
Yeah,
then
they got the
they
electrope.
implemented it into their world. They didn't just build
Yeah.
high-rise
It's just-
skyscrapers and like
It just looks ugly.
that.
That's all I'm
That is true. This is what they would
I
call
like it.
a sanatorium. Is this what they would call it in the old days? Is that what this is? Like just a big
A
open.
sanatorium's more.
Weren't those the big
Like an
rooms?
asylum, isn't it?
It's a,
Yeah, I think that's more of an.
They built those for tuberculosis and stuff. Wasn't that the
Maybe
sanatorium?
it is. Yeah, maybe you might be right.
Anyways, pointless information.
It's for chronic illnesses.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
A sanatorium.
Well,
Well,
it's
asylum would be a sanatorium.
yeah,
guess
but
so.
asylum could also be for mental illness as well. right?
Well, that's chronic. You don't
That is
lose.
chronic.
Well,
that's
sanatorium, I think, was
many
for
types of mental
medical,
illness.
physical, in medical. wasn't
Maybe
it?
for the humors are imbalanced.
Completely, again, useless. We get to see this part, which is this is cool because now this is outside in Alexandria. We have been here in 9 for what
We have.
the
Now this is so Alexandria in Final Fantasy IX was still a mixture of technology,
yeah.
and that looked fine. That looked good with the street lamps. Mm-hmm. That looks like Final Fantasy IX. I appreciate this look. This looks great.
Yeah.
That's cute too.
We got the
Gosh, so this will be all where like Vivi was running around trying to get the ticket from that little urchin.
yeah, that's Alexandria.
If we see some actual actual things that we can recognize from that, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, it is the Tantalus base.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It is.
of course.
We did there was we were here
this is
quite a
nice.
bit. Yeah. Even looking at the screenshot, it almost looks
It looks like a pre-rendered PS1.
Yeah.
It does. It looks great.
So that's the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sorry, I just started imagining what's his name? Who's the ill child? Well, I was just imagining him being the Zidane of Alexandria.
oh, you mean like Calyx? Is that his name?
Yeah, Calyx.
Yeah.
He is not as cool as Zidane.
No. Okay.
It'd be good to see him running around.
Then he teased the trial, which I pretty sure is going to be. It probably is like Necron. If you look at
Do you think?
if you look at the design of this
Necron
statue,
came out of nowhere in 9.
That's
Yeah.
true.
do you remember Necron?
The
had
rings
the
around. Yeah, the rings around that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of giving Necron already to me,
It very well could be Necron.
or Braun.
What a loss, though.
Oh, I'd love it to be Bran. I'd be so
Bran.
happy if we get a Bran trial.
Yeah.
Necron would be. That would be a bit of a wasted super boss.
You think so?
Waste of
Necron was
time.
pretty good, wasn't it? I don't remember. We beat it.
But for just the trial in a random patch, I feel like Necron could be a whole
This is the
expansion
end
villain.
of the end. This is the end of the Alexandria storyline.
Yeah,
No, I
that
suppose
he
so,
did
you're
say
right.
that. That's important. I should have said that at the start. He said that this is the end, so they're going back to the old
Of Dawn
format
Trail,
of
yeah.
7.3 being the end
Thank
of the story.
God.
Yeah.
My-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do with
I
another 2 patches.
No.
You seem really upset about the idea of them wasting Necron. I mean, they
No, it's-
wasted Zeromus on the end of the...
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And Anima, so actually you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was just a dungeon boss, so yeah. They
Yeah.
throw away a lot of good stuff. Yeah, the one who was in the tower.
The 10 boss that they put in
Oh, okay.
Tower of
Yeah.
Babel.
Tower of
Yeah.
Babel.
Okay. I was thinking of Sarah for some reason.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, next, they moved on after this. Obviously, didn't say anything about this. He said it's so secret that he won't even talk about it in part 2. But then he moved on to the Echoes of Vana'diel
I've got
reveal,
questions.
and I am so excited because it's Sampdoria.
Yeah, man. Sand.
As I said during the live letter, where is my Bastok? The second
You're
war.
never getting.
That's next time.
Bastok is the
That's the last one.
ugliest city. No.
It won't be Bastok and it won't be Windurst next time, Mailer. It'll be
No.
actually something important.
No. Bastok is Bastok is the bastion of
It is not.
Cerealja.
Ugh.
He loves Bastok, so he'll go there.
I
I can't wait to get lost in the grey French streets of Sandoria. Go and meet all of the people with their stupid names.
Do you not remember
mean-
how many times we walked into that chateau at the end there?
So many times. This is Chateau de Rong,
Yeah,
or whatever,
it
isn't
is.
it?
Yeah.
This looks so much better than any time I've walked into it, and especially the first couple times.
Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy, Gurgi, in here? You can look up with the camera.
Yeah.
We can finally see what it looks like. It has a rainbow.
It does.
You never
I mean,
saw
I'll be
that in
able-
11.
No.
Oh,
I'll be
No.
able to use my mouse to control where I'm looking.
Oh, I know. It'll be so. It's like this is the experience that we want 11 to be.
Yeah.
Playing this is what we want it to be like.
Yeah. That's
No questions on this. I have questions on this. Where's this? Because I tried to look up snowy zones in 11, and there was a few options.
It's
but
glacier, something glacier. Bosidine Glacier, I think it is.
Yeah, that's it.
I did look at this one, but it didn't quite look that beautiful.
It looks like one. No, well, it's 11.
Oh, really? It didn't quite look this beautiful.
Not quite.
I don't think any of the zones they've showed us looked quite as beautiful as as detailed as we've seen them.
That thing over there looks like it looks. Don't laugh at 11.
Great.
It looks kind of like these that you find in Bosidine Glacier, so I think that's kind of what we're seeing. It's just a 14 of 5. Don't laugh.
I'll say that our version looks a little bit better.
Don't laugh.
A little bit better.
The sky, very beautiful.
I know. In fairness, though, like this is very good sky. This is a really good skybox. I mean, 14 has nice skies, but wow, the aurora borealis and everything. Lovely.
Yeah.
This looks great. I can't wait to be exploring. I can't wait to go here and enjoy the bosses that are slightly overtuned and therefore make me not want to come back for 7 more weeks.
I don't think they are overtuned, Mailer. I think we just didn't have the eye level yet.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Yeah.
Well, and then people gave. Oh no!
So
who is this
surreal,
blonde? He looks like a tall Lord Farquaad that's blonde. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy in the corner. I don't know what he looks like, but I'm gonna assume that's a tall blonde Lord Farquaad.
No, it's the paladin man, isn't it?
Can someone pull up what he actually looks like?
It's Camel. No, I'll find a picture. But we think. Well, that's close to what I usually call him.
He was a little Norwegian boy that didn't speak English good.
Yeah, I used to call him.
And this wasn't even Norwegian or English. It was like French.
Something involving a camel and its feet.
No.
It would be Camlino, I'm pretty sure.
So this is what he looks like in the form that I think
look like him.
He is being presented as.
Yeah, that looks like the shield.
Oh, is he like the Xenos of 11?
Well, he has a sidekick. There's 2 of them. They usually operate. They are I think Eldnarsh is going to be involved in here as well, which is another dude. But
why does his shield look like a plate?
Because
it doubles up as one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a dog ball.
It's not. He's not the Xenos of 11.
No.
I don't want to spoil anything because I'm sure they're going to talk about it in the story.
So. I mean, there was a heck of a lot of 11 players 8 very well in part 1. There was lots of little references.
Yeah.
So you can explain all of those.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Prish and
Elzal.
And Elzal.
The man.
Again, that's the L.
This is Shaloni, yeah.
In Shaloni.
That's weird.
Yes.
Why is that weird?
They've travelled far away from the Mamuk lands.
Well, they said they were going to explore Toral.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they are, but it's just
a
bit inconvenient for us because then we have to go to Shaloni and then right back to the portal.
The portal might... The Sandoria portal might appear here.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully it's close to an aetherite.
That'll be the bottom left of Shaloni.
Okay.
I've still only got like 2 of the orchestrion rolls from the first one.
One more than me.
The Unreal trial, moving on, is the Wreath of Snakes. Seiryu. Not much to say about that.
Yeah, don't want to do that one.
No.
We should.
I'm good.
It's an okay fight, but it's
Yeah, I don't mind Seiryu. I don't think it's as bad as you guys seem to be presenting it as.
It's fine. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, I don't. That's it. I just don't want to.
Okay, this is big news.
This was big.
The new treasure dungeon.
I thought this was the ultimate when he first showed it without text. I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of that, he said that also at the start of the live letter. There's no ultimate this patch. There's no ultimate this patch, period.
This
This
expansion.
patch. At least.
This patch.
He did not say there
not
won't be another
expansion.
one this expansion.
This
Just a cost thing.
this is the new roulette thing, but as you can see,
So much cooler.
it is
Well,
not a
very cool it is.
traditional looking roulette. This almost looks like, is it? I
Do you
don't
think
know.
we have to pick from the three? Like it's.
I hope
really?
it's a
You
slot
think it-
machine.
Yeah, or is it
Oh my
slot?
God.
Yeah,
it
I
could be
think,
a
it's,
slot.
I think it's a slot machine.
Yeah.
It would be
those
disappointing if
screens.
this ends up being a cup game.
I love
Come on,
gambling.
lucky sevens.
Yeah, that's
This is going to be good. We're going to spend a lot of time doing these.
yeah.
Yes.
No one likes the normal version of the maps anymore. They just like the roulettes and the fun.
So why do they keep
Yeah.
bringing it back?
Yeah, I don't
I know.
Because
they
they're
should,
forcing
please.
us to do the bad ones so we can enjoy the good ones better
Yeah,
later on.
yeah.
Look, it's a metal mandragora with shades.
Yeah.
That's
It's not
cool.
the first time we've seen a metal mandragora, Mela. We fought
No.
one already.
We
What a
have.
sentence.
But that was Allegan, not
This
Yeah.
one's
Alexandrian.
Solutionian.
Yeah.
I like his shades.
Well, there you go. So that's something to look forward to. A new type of treasure or roulette style content.
That is
Vault.
exciting.
Oneiron.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's the name. Vault on Aaron. Goodbye, Cutter's Cry.
Yeah,
Goodbye, you little
another
shit.
Yeah,
Saying goodbye.
another dungeon
still here.
ruined by the duty support system.
yeah,
No, I think we agreed
It's
that
Cutter's
it's not.
Cry.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
enjoy Cutter's Cry either.
that is the impression
Yeah,
we
I don't really
gave
care.
during
No
the live
tears
coverage.
will fall
No.
for Cutter's Cry.
Cry.
Do you know what would be funny though is if they just can't program Chimera, so no one knows how Chimeras work
That-
anymore until
that
later on.
is-
No, I don't think that's going to be
Neither
something
way.
they can't
I mean,
program.
that is the one thing that I will probably that I'm a little sad about is that Chimera is an iconic boss, and I think that they're going to change the boss arena because there's a lot of
Oh,
shit to get
probably,
stuck
yeah.
on there, and I think they're going to
That's
have
fair.
to clean up his cave
That's
a
a
bit.
shame if they do.
But yeah, so that is Cutter's Cry. Next, PvP update.
Hey, well, there's some big deals there.
There is PvP Series 9, of course, starting, and then PvP action adjustments. He
We
did
don't
not
care
go
about
into that this time.
Part 2 will have a 25-minute
Yeah.
explanation.
And then new Crystalline
news.
Conflict Arena added, and that
Didn't expect this.
is this one.
Wow.
It's a really cool arena.
Yeah.
It is a cool
Yeah.
arena.
I hope it
No
doesn't have an
gimmicks, he
annoying
said.
gimmick. Oh, no gimmick?
No, he
Oh,
said
okay.
no gimmicks.
No gimmicks.
He said this will be like the Palestron.
Yeah.
That's
That's what
good.
it's
We
called,
do
isn't
need
it?
a second Palestra, yeah.
Yeah.
Palestra.
Yeah. Palestra.
I'm glad that they've...
That's
yeah,
fine.
because some of the gimmicks are good. Cloud9.
Yeah.
And some of the gimmicks are shit. Clockwork City.
Clockwork City is annoying.
That one's
Clockwork
awful.
Castletown.
Yeah,
Clockwork
that
Castle
one
Town,
has
that's
to
it.
leave the game at some point. I can't stand it. If I queue for casual and I get that, I'll just not play
You'll throw.
Crystalline Conflict. I'll throw.
I
Yeah.
don't necessarily
I'd throw anyway.
hate all of. I don't necessarily hate all the gimmicks in Clockwork Castletown. My biggest issue is that you can't see around the walls.
True.
It's such a confusing arena.
Yeah. Big news, by the way, related to Crystalline Conflict. They will now allow duo signups for
It's better than
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yes.
If you have
That's
a friend,
doable.
now you've got some. You can rage together.
Yes. Yes.
And it's in
Jeez,
casual, so you can stomp them. Literally, if you just coordinate 2 LBs, you can
That's
win
true.
most battles.
Yeah.
It's all. That's the thing holding you back in most fights is the lack of communication.
Yeah.
100%, and that, yeah. I just want the full teams though. We have
Yeah.
the system. Just
Yeah.
give us, because you can even make it a team queue where it's team versus team only.
Yeah.
So
No,
there's no,
don't
like-
do that because we get stomped and then
That's
we
true. Yeah, I want to stop the
we,
news.
we don't want to experience that.
That's true.
Chad is correct that Yoshi-P said people were were a little scared to enter alone.
Yes.
I don't understand that. It takes 5 minutes and you
Yeah,
always
I mean,
gain.
it is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it doesn't matter too. It's
No,
just,
it's casual.
This is
mode
only
as
for
well.
casual, by the way. Yeah. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
he's
calculate
doing
all
ranked
my
anyway.
series as losses. I need 10 losses to get to the next level. If I
That's
get wins,
fair.
that's great, but I just
Yeah.
know what I need to do.
Yeah. If you are playing ranked, there are 2 new
This is big news.
tiers that have been added: Omega and Ultima.
I mean, they look cool.
Yeah.
Can I mean alpha? Maybe or
That's
sigma?
the last one. Sigma's the final one after
Yeah.
Ultima.
No, we're staying on Omega for the Mpreg.
Oh, not good. Not good to mention that.
Okay, moving on from that. We have Cosmic Exploration.
Wait, it's back?
It's back because we are moving on from the moon. They made this whole thing where they're like, thanks to the effort of industrious adventurers, completion of the Moongate hub is close at hand, because we haven't finished it yet. The Cosmic Exploration Initiative is ready to take its first hop into the wider cosmos. Cosmos.
Cosmos Kramer.
And here we are.
Favorite Xenogears character.
We're going to Faina.
Fine.
Faina.
What do we... How we get some lore?
I'm sure we... I mean,
lore on this random
It's an
planet.
alien planet. What lore
it's
is
uninhabited,
this?
Mela.
Yeah,
There won't be
it's a
any
planet.
lore.
Well,
We
why
make
did we,
the lore.
why we picked it, what's going on?
Oh, yeah,
a little
sure.
bit of
Proximity, I mean, they very could easily just say it's close.
Yeah, they just picked.
That's
They
true.
just picked a star and just went for it. I guess.
Now, it's nicer than the moon.
Is that color?
It's not beautiful. It's like, you know, in No Man's Sky when you have like
Exactly
the nice
the
grassy
same thing
planets,
we said. Yeah.
and then you get the disgusting swamp fart cloud planet. This is
Yeah.
the swamp fart cloud
Is this?
planet.
It is kind of swamp fart. Yeah, a little bit.
You're so picky. We can't necessarily go to the most beautiful planet in the universe.
No. I'll take this over the moon. The moon depresses me.
Not.
It's horrible being on the moon.
Not all
Any-
planets are beautiful.
Any
Yeah.
aliens to romance? Any hot alien babes?
Well,
I think
there's
the
no lore
premise.
apparently. So
I think
probably
the
not.
premise of this is that we're only going to like uninhabited planets, right? I think. Otherwise,
We're not colonizers, Rollo.
Well, we might.
Well, then
go
it was
to-
hot alien babes. We can hang out with them and not colonize. What's wrong with you? Dang.
What if we go to planets that used to be inhabited but have been destroyed by Meteon? And
That's
ruined
very
by her?
possible.
Now that would be lore.
that would be
It
lore.
would tie in, and we could see like their ruins and some relics and get cool lore.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's true. So there will be further enhancement to cosmic tools. There will be new rewards, and the Star Wars standing stela, as well as the star contributor status and effect, will also be available on Faina.
Separately,
I mean, of course.
or and there are now 2 leaderboards.
I think it'll be the same leaderboard, right? It's for
One
cosmic.
I think it's the same
exploration.
leaderboard.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. Thanks.
Geralt will be back.
Woof.
Yeah, I know it's a lot when his tits she gets shoved in your face.
I
like
know
that.
his no nippled
Oh.
ass tits, man.
This
goodness
man,
me.
chat. A diet of alcohol and hard work does wonders for the male physique.
And the following picture shows you that there is a new step here that is going to be annoying.
What of your traumas from the past do you think it will be? Light farming? Books?
Yeah, I'm starting to think it
Books.
might be books.
I would love if it's books. I'll be so
Books are good.
I think it's time.
What a way to
make me
set an
happy.
expectation for your relic. Your character is like, he hates doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes me really want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I could imagine it being based on how readily they give us this? What if it's that step where you have to just like grab a bunch of materia?
Oh
No.
God, no! They
No.
can never bring that.
I
back.
mean, it will keep Occult Crescent
No.
alive because you get a
No, I am not
ton of
doing.
materia.
I am not doing another Zodiac board thing. I am not doing that again.
No.
If you bring back Alexandrite,
Oh, that's actually a good idea. Alexandrite. Bring that step back.
oh, that was the worst.
Oh, bring back the sand. Do you remember that? When we had to do that to like.
Oh, the umbral sand or whatever. with
yeah.
the
Oh, the
umbrite.
sand is one of the worst phases
That was
they've ever made.
fucking awful.
Yeah. Well, whatever nightmare they have in store for us, it'll become with patch 7 point whenever this is happening.
At least it will presumably take place at least partially in OC again, judging
Yes.
from where we are. So that's good.
Yeah.
I like the system of having it optional in both areas. They should always do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it should always be easier in the current content.
I agree. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Oh boy, new deep dungeon.
Oh, the best content in the game.
I,
Innovation Central.
Well,
I mean, I love
this was
Deep
my
Dungeon
favorite
still.
part. He showed Deep Dungeons. I snore
This pissed me
immediately.
off.
I snore immediately, and then he goes, "What is Deep Dungeon?" I pass away. I mean, I can't sit here and let you explain what a Deep Dungeon is, but he did. Which we are not going to go through again. You should know, if you're watching Speakers of Eidolon, what a deep dungeon is. But then he showed us where we're
I
going.
like that there are 4 pictures.
Yeah, even though
But
there's
there's
only
only 3 deep dungeons because they just did the extra 200 in Palace.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're going to an Ilmegian one. This is so cool.
Okay, now you caught my interest. I like
This one looks really diverse in terms of the room structure as well. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Mela, they've innovated though. You don't go up or down.
No.
You go
forward.
Straight onwards, yes.
Which
Level dungeon.
How much land space does this dungeon take up?
I think it's in the Pixie world, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's something like a mirage. I don't know.
It probably
Chad
is.
is correct. It's the horizontal progression you've always wanted.
Yes.
Mela.
Yes. It's here.
That's funny.
It's just
Look how nice it looks.
Yeah. It looks
Does
really
look very
nice.
nice.
I'm really excited.
bring back.
I
G
really
mod
couldn't
room.
decide what they would do for Deep Dungeon. I never thought we would finally get our Shadowbringers Deep Dungeon, but we got it.
I mean, Vobert wasn't my choice. I was thinking it could be Ronka, but Vobert's fine.
Yeah.
Ronka would have been good. I think we've talked about Ronka as a good choice. This one never crossed my mind to do
Oh yeah, no.
an
neither.
Ilmegian
No.
Fairyland. That's very cool.
But wait, there's more. You can go
Yeah.
outside.
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
Outside.
Well, yeah.
I want to know what super awesome mount that we will be able to grind for. Oh, the
Yeah.
dungeon parties are back. Hell yeah, brother. Oh.
It's still deep dungeon, so I am reserving my optimism.
This is the man who never got to experience the glory of getting to 100 on Eureka Orthos. For
I
that
agree.
Very cool reveal
whatever.
at the end.
Snore.
Who cares?
Players must first complete the main scenario quest Endwalker and progress to floor 50 of the Palace of the Dead. You must be level 91 or above to enter, and access by speaking with an NPC in Ilmeg.
Cool.
Now,
Cool.
so I was like, where is going?
But
instead of going down,
It's not normal.
it doesn't matter. It's just the same thing. You can look outside every now and then. Well, there is a bonus duty after completion, a harder
see?
version of the floor 9. Mela, you're like the high protector of deep dungeons for
I
no
am.
reason.
I mean, I'm
I like
Mela
them.
on this.
A harder version of the floor 99
I think
boss battle.
the concept of Deep Dungeon's fantastic. I think they completely fucked up Heaven on High. And I think
Okay.
they still haven't innovated. I think they should take
Yeah,
systems
that's-
like Phantom Jobs and things like that and implement in more roguelike elements into this. This could be amazing content.
It
And
could
I
be,
still think
but
it's
it
good
never
content.
is outside of the first one.
That's
I agree
that-
with Mela, but I also quite like the content as it is, so I'm happy with it being this way.
Mela has to like at least one part of this game, and this is his special interest. That's
Exactly,
true.
yeah.
This is the one thing that Mela likes, and I will let him like
Exactly.
it.
It does worry me though, because I mean, I know in my heart of hearts it'll be the same. There will be nothing really that new. It'll give you a reskin of the fucking things you throw or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it. I worry too, because all they're talking about is just like, oh, you can fight the boss again. That's interesting, cool. Is there anything new inside? Like
No.
New? No.
Not that they've told us about
Hey,
anyway.
look,
Don't even want
It
to
looks
talk about it a
different.
little bit.
It looks different. It's just a different map. You're still going through.
I mean, the concept has been slated. They are happy.
You can
with
see
it.
this is a corridor that connects to a room. Like it's the same
Yeah,
setup.
but look,
so-
it has a little man in it.
There's
Wow.
got to be a twist, please.
I don't think there's gonna be a twist. I think this is the twist.
I know there's not, but please.
I think this is the
Something
twist.
that's not a fucking dungeon, like a boss fight that you can queue
Ah.
up for. I mean, cool.
Don't
I mean,
do Forged Tower if you think you're so hardcore.
I don't mind either way. I know what deep dungeon is now. This is
You know
a
what to
cool
expect.
bonus. This is a cool
Rollo,
bonus.
This is my Dynasty Warriors. Let me enjoy the Kingdom content.
Exactly.
Yeah, you enjoy your fucking
I will
dice
let you.
wars.
To those that love Deep Dungeon, that's valid.
Stop.
It's no. It's valid.
Stop.
It's
you
valid.
keep letting them make the same thing again. You keep playing the same thing over. That's the definition of insanity.
That's every
or whatever that guy
expansion
said.
in this game. That's every patch.
Yeah.
Mailer and I will
Dungeon is
have
the worst
fun.
part of it.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
You two will have fun. That's fine. When you finish it, you get to fight a level 99, the level 99 boss again at a harder
level
difficulty.
100.
Stop with the deep slop. No
can-
more deep slop.
Oh my
When we get
god.
when we get to that level 99 boss battle, Mailer, we won't have to rely on as many people.
I
No. That's
prefer in the choice between Deep Dungeon and Variant. I feel like Variant is a little better, but
I mean, I also want to know when we're getting one, because
Yeah.
we're not getting one this patch.
yeah,
I think
I worry about that
Variant
system.
would have been better if they released one a patch or one every 2 patches or
Yeah, if
something.
it was more
The cycle
regular.
on them is horrendous.
Yeah, it is. It seems random.
And the 2 harder modes of it were just poorly tuned. It
Yeah.
was meant to be midcore and it turned into hardcore.
Yeah.
They really dropped the ball on those.
And then, sorry, yeah, this
It's a Sin Eater.
yeah, this is the boss, by the way, a Sin Eater.
I'm excited.
Titania
It's obvious-
again? Titania
It looks like some sort of like amalgamation of
Yeah,
Sin Eaters. Like some
Yeah.
Sin horror.
yeah, a
Maybe
Sin
with
horror.
4-3.
I mean, maybe it's not even a Sin Eater. I mean, it could be like Oporus Poldia or whatever it is. Someone
Oh,
that was
yeah.
transformed against their will.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That too.
Could have actual like lore.
Well, now we have to move on to the most important thing. Now we're on to like system features essentially, and this has been talked about a lot. Like, where is it, Yoshi-P? Well, chat bubbles.
Yawn.
They show it off, and then they go under active development. Again,
Just so you know, they haven't forgotten about it.
Yeah.
This fringe system that's apparently taking up all the dev.
Hey,
Oh, just look at
it
it.
says
though.
that it's still to come in patch 7.3.
Yeah.
They didn't. It's not
That's
in the
true.
section that even said it was for later.
No.
So
that's true.
This is why we didn't get a normal Forks tower, because they were doing this. The devs were busy trying to get chat bubbles.
I mean, as funny as that is, I'm going to suspect the programming ability of the people making this and the people making Fork Tower are very different subsets of skills.
Yeah.
You never know.
Look, can you go back one slide to where it doesn't say active development for a moment?
Yeah.
I want you to look at the chat bubble on the right.
Yeah.
That's how much you can type.
That's
Before
fine.
it
Yeah.
goes away.
You can have two. You can have 2 lines.
Is it 2 lines?
You can
Oh
set
my
it.
God,
You
you
can
can
set
do
it to
that.
show 2
Why don't you
lines.
just be a little bit more succinct in your speech then, Rollo?
Yeah.
Why don't you get to the point
Yeah.
a bit quicker?
I
Yeah.
type essays, all right?
Well, he made it clear that the chat bubble, so if you have longer messages, is to get. I mean, you read the rest in chat, obviously. I
No,
guess.
I don't want
It's just to make you know.
Do
that
you
someone's
really want
spoken.
massive chat bubbles
I
filling
want
your
you
screen?
all Xbox.
You'll just get people doing like the ASCII art spam constantly.
Yeah,
That'll
I
all
want
be.
that.
Yeah.
I want an option for me to have that. I
Oh,
don't-
you just want to be
2
playing.
lines is not enough. Am I being
Perfect
greedy?
World
Maybe.
Online or something. That's what you.
They
want.
would never allow that. I never thought they would.
It sounds disgusting. I
Yeah.
don't think they want people seeing that officially in this game.
No.
Well, give me the option. I should have. If other people can't handle it, fine. I want to play a real MMO with real chat bubbles. All right.
Well,
Awful.
he went through some of this. Obviously, it's optional, disabled by default.
Thank goodness.
This is
Yeah,
the continue error where it says text will continue to display in the chat log as normal.
Yeah.
You can set
God,
it
they can't even get this right.
exactly. They can be set to on/off according to chat mode, and chat bubble and font color can be set according to chat mode. So it'll be color coded based on what type of chat it is.
That's going to be rough on some of the color options there are, but I guess that's on you.
Yeah, but you can see here that it's milder in
Those ones are
color.
fine.
It seems. So you see the yellow
But
is
there are some.
but it seems to be
very
more muted.
Rich colors.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
on
the
you
text
then.
looks to be black always.
I think
yeah,
the
I know
default
it's-
colors are not that sharp.
No, default colors are very pale.
Yeah. You can disable a chat during the chat bubbles during battle and PvP, and then it can be set to display one.
Cannot imagine having this on during PvP.
It can be
I mean,
nice
you
if
can
you're
only
in the
do
heat.
commands.
Yeah, exactly. So if you I don't really look at
Interest of
chat.
playing conflict, at least.
Yeah,
No, yeah, CC actually it could be useful.
yeah, you will just see that someone
But you
says
can't do that in
attack
CC.
white mage.
No, you'll have to. Well, but the commands are written as a chat, so they might come up in the bubble as well.
Yeah, they're
I
short.
should say when I say I can't imagine this in PvP, I mean I can't imagine this having this on in front lines.
I mean, it would
That's
be
the best place to have it. It's already chaos. It's already, just a horrible mosh pit.
The
Just
worst
make it
place
worse.
is in Limsa.
Yeah. Also, actually, Georgi, Frontline is not PvP. Frontline is its own system.
Okay.
All right. Text will be truncated upon reaching a certain word count. So there you go. That's what we saw in the screenshot.
No trunks. Make it as long as possible.
No,
No.
2 lines is enough for whatever dribble.
I want
you
it to
have
go
spout.
up to the skybox, please.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You just want it. You want it horrible.
Rollo wants like the worst like mod beast UI. We're just like
Yeah.
it's just can't even
Just wants
imagine.
visual sound pollution.
No, I want the option to have it to turn. Sometimes I just want to go into Limsa and like let the chat bubbles fly, like just
No.
torture.
God.
Like
No.
Torture.
yeah, you ever just like flagellate yourself a little bit? Like I like that.
No.
I don't really do that. No.
Self-flagellation is worth that,
saving
man.
you from yourself.
No.
Okay. Moving on.
I don't want to talk about this one.
No, actually, really? I thought this was quite
It's-
interesting.
I mean, it is interesting, but it's just funny and like
It is
sad as
funny,
well.
and it's
They
sad
just
that it
couldn't
is what
figure
it
out a
is.
solution.
Well, now they have. Well, they said that if they wanted to do this, they're gonna have to do the clipping through.
I mean,
And fuck it.
isn't this what all the mods do anyway?
Yeah, well, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
fuck it.
that's literally what it
The
does.
tails clip through everything already anyway.
Exactly.
So who cares
My
anymore?
horns clip through things.
Yeah, exactly. So they announced expanded headgear support for Hrothgar and Viera, and various headgear will now display on Hrothgar and Viera characters, and further support for headgear, including helmets, will be added in future updates. And they showed a picture of these hats on Hrothgar.
The Hrothgar looks fine.
This feels so cursed. Like I don't.
It does
Something's
look very
wrong.
It does feel,
Something's-
yeah, it feels cursed.
There's evil about,
For a Hrothgar, I can kind of envision it, especially on the Matoya hat.
Yeah.
It's the Viera that I have the biggest problem with to lose
Well,
their
with the
ears.
with the
Yeah.
Hrothgar, I said to Lakil that like it's like when they first showed off the new hairstyles on the Hrothgar when they clipped their ears off entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
just.
So here.
I mean, that looks fine.
Yeah.
Like who
It's
cares?
acceptable. Yeah, I wouldn't if I wanted to. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've already chosen this path. You knew what you were getting into when you picked Viera.
Yes.
You knew you were a second-class citizen in terms of content update.
Yeah.
So you have
but
to just deal with it.
they have added the option to hide Viera ears. You can choose whether or not to display ears on certain headgear. Added an on-off subcommand to the visor toggle inside the character window, and the display setting will be saved to the registered gear set equipped at the time. So he said that, like, imagine that they've just rolled their ears down or whatever, like they've just tucked them
just
under.
maybe
The...
turn them off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still here. You wouldn't hear anything.
No,
I don't
you're deaf,
like-
but you look good, I guess. I don't know.
It's so. I would rather see someone with the clipping ears, to be honest. Than
Yeah.
I don't like
I
it.
agree.
Yeah.
It just looks like a hair, like
But with a weird
deformed
nose.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if at least you have the option, right?
Yeah.
And you can wear more headpieces, so that's fine.
Yeah. This
was big.
This is an interesting change, and I am of course coping because I'm hoping that maybe it's because they're preparing for actual
One day.
hoods.
The Viper one's fine. It's acceptable. The raincoat ones are awful.
They're good melee until they turn their heads, because that's
Well,
when you
true.
see the flap flying all over the
That's
place.
true, yeah.
But they've changed because normally when you put on a hood in game,
Your
you
hair
lose your
disappears.
hair. It essentially replaces your hair, so you're always
Yeah.
bald under a hood. That has been changed. So hair
very impressed
will
with
now be
this. That's
displayed.
great.
Yes.
It looks good.
That man, all he has is the tiny swirl at the front of his head, like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still bald on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take off the hood, there's nothing there.
Okay, now we have to talk about something
Oh.
less fun.
This was the biggest disappointment of my life.
7.4
Oh my Lord.
now, or later for the
Or
raid.
later.
For the raid planner.
For this,
And it gets worse. This is they're cooked on this one. I am sorry. This is not.
It's awful.
This is a terrible. At some point, I wish someone was like, guys, let's end development on this. We can't do this one. The raid planner, which was which is already using the Masked Carnival UI for the base. It already looks really clunky in like how it works when you look at the.
What are you talking about? Isn't this how you Isn't this exactly what you look at when you're playing with Photoshop?
Yeah.
It's really bad.
They show the UI here.
You can see you have to like rotate things with bars, like slider bars. And stuff.
Because console players
scale.
I don't care about the peasants. Okay,
No.
I got the mouse. I want to click.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Also, there's nothing on this that shows that you have to use the slider bars.
Well, no, you might
that's
have to
true.
drag things around too. I'm not sure exactly, but
You might.
doesn't this look horrendous?
It does look horrendous, and
This doesn't look like something that's been in development for a year or however long
it's giving.
Like
yeah, go on, Rollo.
I feel like with a raid planner like this, you'd want it to be kind of quick and snappy.
Yeah.
You know, or I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I think we will continue to see MS Paint diagrams with horrible names forever.
Right.
Because it's easy to do that.
This
is going to take hours to set up a raid plan.
I know it's not the same, but it's giving like Mario Paint. The UI, like it's giving like weird, like it's too.
Babby's first Photoshop.
Yeah.
Think about an average Savage fight or Ultimate fight in this game with how many mechanics they have, how much positioning, how much of a dance you have to do. And you have to make one of these for every single mechanic.
It'll take you a whole day just to make this, I think, because
years of your life gone.
I assume you can just copy and paste between like slides,
I
and then
certainly hope
you
so.
move them around.
There is a copy symbol. There seems to be. So yeah, you're
look
probably
at like Hector's lectures, where he it's a PowerPoint obviously, and it has the animations where things move around.
Yeah.
How do you do that on this? Can you still move things, or does it just? Are there arrows?
Well, there are some signs that it is worse than you might think. So when
you're not out of a job, Hector. Don't worry.
When they show functions under consideration, functionality to display the board where desired, including during battle. The fact that wasn't.
It's under consideration.
It was under consideration.
Like, hey, if you can't show it during battle, I've got a perfect solution.
Yeah.
Print screen. Open it up on another window.
Yep. Option to highlight specified jobs. Sure. Ability to set up multiple schemes for a single duty.
So we're suggesting. Are you like multiple like full battle tactics? Or
Yeah. What does this mean? What does a scheme mean?
single
like frame
Yeah.
of one moment in the battle.
We're
That's
going to
what I
practice
fear.
one mechanic at a time, and then we'll do a whole whiteboard for each one.
We cannot ignore the last one, which almost made me like I stared in disbelief. Option to share with others is under consideration? How is this supposed to work?
They might do it.
So let's
They
say
might be
in a
thinking
raid
about
team,
it harder than the others, Lakil.
let's just say in a raid team, the raid leader does the raid planner, right? They make it all.
Yeah, and they keep it to themselves.
And then they have to like screenshot it, so you have to recreate it on your end. Is that how they thought it would this work? Or
No,
would they make it
talk you through
together?
all of the parameters that they've done. So rotation 412 on that, scale 12.6.
Boggles the mind. The fact
The
that
only thing that I would accept from this is if we could replace our mini-map or something with our plan. And like it moved, that would be good.
Oh yeah, well I don't know.
Uses the mini map during
I would like an additional
raids.
window,
As an
maybe.
option, though.
But yeah.
So we can see things moving around or something on the plan.
I don't understand this. I feel like this raid
It's
planner
awful.
was requested by the community, and
They
they were
have
like,
not.
"Let's try," and then they hit all the limitations of Final Fantasy XIV, and
I am sad for this one.
are like just like powering through now at this point, and this has been pushed back so many times, which makes you feel like it's. If a feature is like delayed, you're like, oh, this has to be like one of the biggest, like most, this required so much dev time. This has to be fantastic. And then we see this. We get this. Aye.
It's Mass Carnival, but grey.
Yeah.
Nikhil, the Chocobo racing guy has to be working on something.
Yeah. It's a pity project for the Chocobo racing guy, I guess. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm sure it'll find use somewhere, but
no.
No.
No, I don't think this will find any use.
I don't want to say that something is dead on arrival in this game, but this might actually be
I think
this
is pre-deceased.
I don't think this is going to be used very.
I'll try it out if we ever go. When we're doing a Friday extreme, let's just use it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
How dare you condemn this to the corner with the battle recorder?
There's like a bin, it has the battle recorder, it has circles too.
Yeah.
This was just joining it right in there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe link them. Maybe somehow link battle recorder in this so you can kind of match.
Oh, that sounds...
No.
Mela, this is not coming out until 7.4 or later. They don't need anything else on their table when it comes to this feature.
No.
I think they executed the duty recorder guy.
Yeah.
I mean, on the plus side, though, this hopefully will be out just before 8.0 when the combat in the game will be finally good again. The jobs will be in their perfect condition, so
that's true.
You'll be able to plan everything accordingly.
Yeah. Okay, we have to move on. They briefly touched on the Primals, briefly, quite a bit actually. The fact that the Primals Dark Decades Tour is sold out. And we got a surprise visit from Soken.
With his little ears.
With his little ears. Yes, his signature ears. I see. The ears above him. I just thought you were just his cute little ears.
Real ears.
So he announced that
he kept calling it a recording.
Yeah, he kept saying, "I'm here to do an emergency recording," and Yoshi-P just went,
okay.
This is live. We're live right now."
Must be that's a good job.
Yeah, he was here to tell us that there are 2 new concerts for the Primals Dark Decades Tour, and they showed off this. CD, as they refer to it as.
A CD-ROM?
It is not an album. It's not an EP. It's a CD.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Music CD. Yeah,
it's a music
CDs.
CD.
Yeah.
It defies labels. Yeah, showed that off, and then showed off some of the merch that you can get.
Whoa, a mug.
There. Yes.
I'll bring that to the concert.
You'll be able
have a nice cup of tea during it.
You'll be able to enter a raffle to get tickets both in JP and also for North Americans and Europeans if you are willing to pay for the flights.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
I'll lottery myself a ticket just to ruin it for someone else.
Yeah, we should waste their time.
Oh, God. And that was that. They also announced new Chronicles of Light.
Yes.
Art book.
Whoa.
Oh.
Come here. You can get the second volume of this.
Oh, I thought you had the actual volume.
Imagine if you had it.
Yeah, I was like,
Light too?
Yeah.
Imagine if you had it.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Pre-release copy. That was sent to Georgi.
No.
Yeah, it's got 4 new stories, and then it's got the collated stories of all the ones since the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And they're interesting. One of them's about Y'shtola.
Yes, the 4 exclusive stories that they have announced on the Lodestone are a glimpse into the past of Feaul and the Crystal Exarch in a story called In the Beginning, Beyond the End. Then how Godbert met his skillet-wielding wife, Julianne, in Behind Every Mandeville Man. Insight into Y'shtola's family in Private Reflections. And a young Kryl learning a timeless lesson from her grandfather Galuf in A Precious Gift.
They all sound like good stories.
Yeah, they do. So
they need to give you something to make it worth purchasing.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, they're nice volumes, though, as well.
Yes.
So, good on them.
Yeah, that is on sale. On the 7th of October. But you can pre-order. I believe you can pre-order now. Isn't that what they announced?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pre-order.
On sale. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, that is.
No. Talk about the earrings.
No, they have ridiculous $400 earrings.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to say.
Per earring.
Per earring.
Sterling silver.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's only for one?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is what I wanted, mate. This is what I wanted, Lakil. I wanted this rage. I like
right.
that Mela didn't even know that it was per each.
I thought it was for a pair.
No, it's for one.
No.
Okay, we're done. Thanks for watching, everyone. That was the end. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow us on all our social, Speakers XIV, exclamation Discord and chat if you're watching live to join our Discord server. If you're watching live, the post show is coming up. We have very little time, but we'll push through. And that's that. Yes.
I was just going to quickly say, Chad is bringing up. He did say that there will be housing news, but that will be in the second part of the live letter.
Housing news and he specifically said that it is going to be include the more housing slots. He will address that in the second part. So worth catching that.
25th of July or 1st of August or something.
So, around that time, yeah, probably. All right, that's it. See you in the poster if you're watching live. Otherwise, take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye.